I'm going to tell you my 5 favorite things about this hardtop gazebo here. The model that you see here is the 12 by 20. The first thing that I really loved about this gazebo is that the customer service from the brand is really amazing. Initially, we had received 5 boxes where this comes with 6, and so after calling the customer service, my husband was very impressed by how knowledgeable and how fast they were to get that last box to us. Something optional that we did is put in concrete footers because we just have pavers, and so there's not very much to secure the gazebo to. So again, that's an optional step that we put in. One thing that is not optional is that it does take at least 2 people, possibly 3 at some points, to put this together when we were keeping the legs balanced to get the frame set up and squared. One thing that helped our setup go a little bit faster is that I did a little bit of the prep work to put some of those rods together. So that would be my next favorite thing about this gazebo, is that even though it is tedious, there are hundreds of pieces that you have to put together. The instructions were easy to follow, and I was able to help with some of the little tasks. Here's a little bit of the video of the gazebo in its process of being set up. Some of the rods have not been put on yet, but it is looking good. My next favorite thing about this gazebo is that it is built to withstand. It is really sturdy. So we were putting this together in the middle of like a kind of a storm. There was definite winds. At my house, we have about 20-mile-an-hour winds that were happening throughout the day, and this was holding up. Once we got all the rods put together, then it was time to put the roof up. This gazebo is made with galvanized metal and it is very sturdy. One tip from my husband is that he said to not tighten up all the bolts when you are framing the base together, and to make sure you have all the pieces on the base in the frame before you tighten it up. The fourth thing that we love about this gazebo is the double roof. We live in an area that gets snow and gets temperatures up to 90 degrees, and so this double roof really helps keep the airflow in the summertime. Something my husband was very impressed by are these concrete bolts right here. They were super easy to install and worked really well. As you can see, we only put 2 in instead of the 4. And another thing is that you could see the cover over the bolts back there. That was really cool to have it hidden, and it just looks really nice. Here's the underside of the gazebo, all put together, all the bolts that are put together on it. An added bonus of what I loved about this gazebo is the mosquito nets that it comes with. We get lots of mosquitoes and bugs where we live, and so this is really nice to have these nets here, and so that we can hang it outside without having these pesky bugs and flies on top of us. Like I said, we were putting this together in pretty stormy conditions, and the rain and the wind were coming down pretty hard to where we had to stop. But if we didn't have to stop, this would have been put together in one day. But it did take us an extra day for that, for the weather. But here's the final product of it all set up. I am so impressed by the quality, the sturdiness of this, these nets that we have here. My final favorite thing about this gazebo is just that it is so pretty. I told my husband that this is prettier than our house. We have a pretty old house, and so this just looks too nice to be in our yard. I am so happy that we made the choice to get this gazebo for our house. I am so excited to have some awesome shade in the summertime. So again, I love the customer service. The instructions were easy to follow. This is a very sturdy gazebo. The airflow of the double roof is awesome. And finally, it's just gorgeous. I highly recommend this gazebo for your house.